All right, so here we are in the SQ5, and right now, let's just say I'm in, it's got different drive modes. You got your off-road, all-road, comfort, and auto, dynamic, and then you can custom set up your individual. Each one of these modes also changes your suspension, changes your steering feel. I think it changes the transmission programming. The modes obviously you're probably gonna most likely stay in is gonna be anything from auto, comfort, dynamic, and then maybe your individual, if you have a preference. One thing about this one though, when you're in dynamic, we're gonna go ahead and have fun now. The AC off. Okay. It's got a little character in it. It's got the gears feel really long in it. It just seems like you see how it winds out, just boom. You know, it goes. For an 8-speed, I think this 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. It is an 8-speed. For an 8-speed, I prefer closer ratios just to give you a little bit more performance. I feels like, because I feel like when you're driving it, stuck by a train. But I feel like as I'm driving it, I'm noticing delays, hesitation. I would say turbo lag is definitely apparent in this car. Mostly, like, say, if you're cruising around, not too much, but like I say, what if you just want to speed up a little bit past that one car that's, you know, you're not like, or just getting on the highway, is almost like you're waiting for it, and the car knows what you're doing. It's definitely building boost according to the gauge in the cluster, but I'm not getting the pickup that I would like. I would prefer it to go down at least 1 or 2 gears more responsively, as opposed to where it feels like there is either nothing or you get all of it, if that makes sense. Because what if I don't want to, you know, floor it every time? What if I don't want to, you know, have to punch it just to pick up a little bit of speed? And that's where I feel like where you're at. Right now, when you're dynamic, it actually is more responsive. But dynamic, you're gonna hear a little bit more is almost in that this, like I said, it's too much. Like I said, if I'm just tipping the throttle, and I don't want it to do that at that point. So now, as far as comfort-wise, extremely comfortable. This is, I can tell you right now, when driving both of these back to back, they're extremely comfortable. Got some purples in the back. Oh yeah, it's definitely popping back there. Can you hear that? A lot of turbo noise. I hope the camera's picking it up. Oh yeah. Let's see if the mic picks it up. Yeah. Natural warbles, nothing artificial pumped through the speakers in this car. Let me see if I can get an outside shot here. quiet it is. I am on an OEM Pirelli P0 tire, so we're comparing, you know, obviously the right OEM tires what the car comes with. It does have a start-stop functionality that can press a button, can be turned off. With the X3 M40, especially with the 2022s and up, the mild hybrid system, you cannot turn it off. However, if you're in sport mode, it won't turn off. So you have that, but it can't be. There's no button to disable it, and there's no option to code it. If you're in BMW coding stuff, you cannot code that off. At least my knowledge, as of the date of this video in January in 2020. This point in 2025. All right. Okay. Let's go on a good smooth road here and see how quiet it is. Gotta turn my mic on. Okay, I can really see how quiet it is. Let's go to 60 miles an hour. And I'm not moving around these bumps. That was a bridge, had to go, you know, a couple joints. Not moving around at all in this. Yeah, it's comfortable. Between the two, this is the most comfortable. I do have a heads-up display. This is a Prestige, has a head display. The heads-up display doesn't show as much as you'll find in a BMW. I'm noticing that I just have speed. It has speed limit warning. I think if anything pops up as far as, you know, for example, if I'm using adaptive cruise control, I do see the speed I've set there with adaptive cruise. And you can change your distance, and you can see that on the heads-up display as well. Heads-up display doesn't appear to be offering anything as regarding color. That makes, at least I don't see anything colored. It seems like just being all white, but everything else, I'm just being picky. It is clear, easy to read. I do have, I believe these glasses are polarized. Double check them, but I can read it fine. I know there's some HUDs I cannot see. Now the instrument cluster, I can set it up so I can have just all map. I can set it up to where I can have partial map. I can set it where I just want to minimize, you know, what's on the view. For example, if I want to just, you know, just show me the bare minimum. If I want music to be priority in the center, you can customize all you want. And let's see, have heated wheel, heated steering wheel. I noticed some of this might be subjective, but I think the heated seats are a little warmer in the BMW. But this is not bad. Actually did, you know, the heads display is color because I'm coming to a stop sign now, and it's giving me a suggestion saying that to lift off the accelerator. So I get a symbol with the little foot that's pushing off, which means let off the accelerator and coast. And that's just a fuel saving tip that it gives you to save fuel in your sporty Audi that you didn't buy to save fuel. But speaking of fuel economy, I believe this is rated 18 city, 24 highway. On a road trip, I was able to achieve max, I think it was like just over 24, almost 25 miles per gallon. So pretty much did what the EPA rated was. I'm gonna go back into sport mode. Got a couple curves coming up, or dynamic mode. You can see it louder in here. The transmission is going to shift to its sportier setting. And we're going to just negotiate a curve. See what we can do here. You can see it. $40. Doesn't, while the engine sounds great, it has some character, it doesn't excite me. I don't know how. I mean, when I say get me wrong, and I say excite me, meaning, yeah, it's fun to accelerate, fun to do the things. But I'm also perfectly content with just cruising around, which is not a bad thing. A car that really gets me my blood flowing is the cars that I just want to do it all the time. I want to just keep accelerating. I want to keep, that was fun to do. Let's keep doing it. But let's see. Let me give another chance. Here's another curve here. I'm going to show you how responsive the paddle shifters are. Paddles definitely respond well. Nobody rolled that curve. And as a matter of fact, since this is the S Sport package, I did it actually accelerate mid-corner. And with that, I'm taking advantage of the Sport differential, which sort of speeds up the outside wheel and helps it kind of corner more on rails, I could feel it as, you almost have to do, which it's opposite of what your brain wants you to do, is when you throw it into a curve is kind of ease your way, into it. But this, you just want to throw it in and just keep accelerating, and you want to accelerate through the turn. And the more you accelerate, the more turn in you get. So, yeah, this has some sport in it. That's what it does. Let's punch it again. Let's try 30 mile an hour. So this thing is popping. You hear that? All right, AC off. 30. Let's go to 30 to 75. Like a good passing point. Okay. I actually went a little bit 80, but that was still, you can see how quickly it picks up speed. So, driving at night driving, headlights are extremely bright, and I have automatic high beam. The headlights do not swivel on this one, but the beam is so wide, I don't think you really need it to swivel. I would maybe prefer a little bit more focused beam, but it's not terrible at all. You got your rear fog light. You have a light. Now, this hasn't had any front fog lights, but it does have a light for rain. So if it's raining outside or inclement weather, you can activate a light that's integrated inside of the headlight housing that is designed just to shine down. And these lights are also act as cornering lights. So if you're cornering, I say cornering like a curve, but more taking a sharp left-hand turn, like turning into a side street or someone's driveway, it puts on that corner, that light to shine on that side street, so it helps you see more. Kind of like the old days, where the old town cars that had the cornering lights on the bottom of the bumper, white light, it turns it on, that light just popped on, and it's kind of like that. But obviously we're in 2025, and I know I started this video, it was actually 2024, but I just ran out of time. Let's see. Brakes feel excellent. Excellent brake feel. Excellent brake feel. It just has a good bite, nice solid feel as you progress. Doesn't feel, for me, when I think a good brake system, I don't want something that's, when I'm braking, that as I cross over bumps, I'm feeling the intervention from analog brakes. Where some cars, Honda, when you hit bumps, sometimes it just triggers the ABS prematurely and doesn't need it. And I know why it does it, but other cars, I feel like I don't have that issue. But yeah, you get that motion where you feel like you kind of go forward because you cross over a couple of bumps, and now you've activated ABS when it doesn't need it. There's no lockup. So anyway, let's get into the BMW and let's see how that performs. What's up? Hey, you change your mind? You want to go for a ride? Huh? Got a car seat for you and your mom, huh?
So Daddy finished filming, so you can meet us back at the house.
All right. See ya. All right, so driving this one around right now, with this being a mild hybrid system in the comfort mode, and since it's a 48-volt mild hybrid, I can tell you that while it does have start-stop and I can't turn it off, as I come to these stop signs and you stop, I'll just let you hear it. Engine's off. I'm still rolling. I get back on the gas. You don't hear the crank and then the start, like a typical traditional start-stop system that you all found annoying. See, another stoplight. Engine's off again. So the engine can turn off before you get to a stop. And another thing it can do, let me turn the window back up again. It can also fire itself up just as I start to roll forward. So it helps with the fuel mileage. And again, I know that we're on an M40, not a 30i. But what you're going to find impressive is that this can achieve, I believe it's 27 on the highway, 22 city. I got to double check. I'm going to put the facts down up on the screen because I'm getting all mixed up with the Audi. But I know personally, real world, on a road trip, I was able to get 35 mile per gallon. I think, I would say, no, hold on a second. On a real world road trip, I was able to easily get 32 mile per gallon. So if you're Eco Pro, which just has an Eco mode, the Audi does not. The Eco mode really does a good job on, let's say it does a really good job on the minimizing fuel by coasting. It decouples the engine from the transmission so you can coast. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go ahead and turn this road. We're gonna punch it, and we're gonna go for it. This put me back in the seat. You're on the Audi can. It's just this. I don't want to sound biased because I am. This is a BMW sort of focused channel, but I feel this one feels more responsive. Let's just try again. Let's just roll into the throttle, see where we are. We're in sport mode. Let's see. Yeah. As soon as I put my foot down, sorry, my tripod is sliding all over the place. Let's try this again. Let's see. Yeah, it just takes off. Every gear. See, I'm slowing down. The engine's downshifting. Let's try again. Let it upshift. Let it get used to this. All right, ready? Here we go. I'm just going to roll into the throttle. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the sound is artificially pumped through the speakers. So some of the pops and the things you hear in upshift is not happening in real life. Sorry. If you wanted that, you probably get a Gen before they start doing the hybridization. Think of a 2021. Again, I'm not doing the downshifting. The car is. Now, the one option we didn't get the, because I said, I bought the Audi used. We bought this one new. I say my wife bought this one new, but I helped build it. We didn't get the sport differential, which I didn't think it was needed for the $1,300. I guess I should have just went for it, but $1,300 for an option that she's the driver of this car 95% of the time, unless I'm filming a video of the year. And if we're in it together, most likely we have, kids with us, so it's really not going to be driven in that manner. However, it is an option if you want the sport differential, if you want that. Everything else with this car is fine. I am going to toss it to the same corners as I did the Audi, but let's go ahead and get the tripod. Let's get a couple outside shots. Same road. We're going to test out how quiet it is and go from there. So let me go ahead and go to comfort. I am on the OEM Bridgestone. I think there's a Bridgestone Duelers, whatever they are. They are run flat tires. We're across that same bridge. Let's see what we do. Drive both wheels back to back and able to say, okay, let's go to 60 miles an hour. Even they're both their comfort modes. The Audi took more pedal input to get the speed up, and I can see that the car working more on the turbo side. And this one just sort of just picked up without having to kick down or anything. It just is easily the power's there, which is confusing because they're both, the Audi has 349 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. This is 382 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. So same torque levels. So ideally, when I'm not stepping on it, if I'm just tipping to the throttle, I should probably look at the torque peak RPMs. But ideally, I should be able to pick up more, the torque should be the same, I should say. I should be able to just easily increase the speed here, but I bet you the Audi probably makes its torque at a high RPM. BMW probably makes its torque at low RPM. I don't know. I didn't see it. Put it in the screen here and compared it to comfort. Accelerate. Sport. Sport Plus, giving me the most aggressive suspension. Okay. Paddle shifts, see how quickly they respond. This one, and as I accelerated, it stuck, but I could definitely feel that I didn't have the M differential, and it didn't obviously respond in a similar way as I would think the Audi, which I said Audi's just on a different level than I think this car. I don't think this M40, if you're a driver car, if you want to drive a car, this is it. Let's do about 20, let's do 35, and 75, 30 to 75. That's it. I'm gonna truck through all the rocks in my car. Now, manual mode, sport mode, transmission, it is staying and it is not going back to automatic. With another curve here, let's see what we do. Okay. Wanted to slide a little bit. Mic was off the whole time. Sorry about that. This is a tough call because I feel like the Audi doesn't have the same feel like the BMW as far as curve and throwing in the curve. However, the Audi feels like it's planted more into the curve, and I think that has to do with the differential. I don't know if this could be an apples comparison because I know the suspension is different, but the differential could make a big difference. And I don't have the M differential to really feel it. I think that's what's giving the Audi that advantage in the corners. Because I could feel it, like I said, it's hard to show in the video, but I could easily feel a difference in terms of responsiveness and how the car feels on the road. But this BMW, I just want to find an excuse to accelerate with it. And it just feels like that as I'm doing it, this engine just begs for more, Each gear change is saying more, more, more. More.
More. More.
Go to comfort mode. Let's get this car probably cool down and we'll head back and then we'll give a little bit more thoughts here.